Hey there, Starcraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be Zest versus Neeb in a PvP here on King's Cove. And let's go ahead and get right down into it. Bottom right-hand corner, we have Neeb. He is blue, he is Protoss, he is American, and he is the best foreigner Protoss in the entire world, according to the WCS rankings. And at the top left, it is the red Protoss player, Zest. He's from Korea. And he's not the best Protoss player from Korea, but pretty darn close to the best. Alright, so PvP. Haven't cast one of these in a while, so those of you who like this matchup, you are welcome. Those of you who do not, I'm just trying to catch every single matchup that StarCraft 2 has to offer. And I don't know, PvP is not my least favorite matchup. Mirror matchup, anyway. I guess that means it's not my least favorite matchup overall as well. Huh. Anyway, it's gonna be double gateway into Cybercore, or gateway into Cybercore into gateway, double gas into whatever the heck you want. You can go double stalker, you can go stalker and a sentry. You can go even a zealot if you want to. I've seen zealots work in PvP. It's not something I used to think was possible, but apparently it is doable. And then the probes are scouting out as well. So there's your Cybercore. Gas income is coming in here. Like a very strange... Okay, I was going to say 1 on this assimilator for Neeb, and then 2 on the other one is weird. And 3 and 3 up here for Zest. So whatever he's doing is going to take him more gas than what Neeb is going for. So I feel like we're probably going to make an adept here. There's your second pylon, yada, yada, yada. I mean, the PvP build has been mirrored forever. Forever and ever. So the early stage of the game is not what's interesting at all. Not even the teeniest, tiniest bits. I mean, look at this. Just even as even can be here. Those production tabs are mirrored up. Oh, sneaky pylon over here from Zest, though. I'm liking that. I'm hoping that's a Stargate. But there's going to be a sentry and a stalker here from Zest. Yep. And a sentry and a stalker here from Neeb as well. So, it feels pretty defensive here. What you want to do is use the force field to keep opponents out of your base if they're coming in trying to kill you. Also, you know, pretty good damage output from the sentry as well. Not super great, but not terrible either. Yeah, both players going for the same thing here, so I don't really see aggression from either player at this stage. What is... see the sentry? Gonna kite and try to get that... Woo! Almost got that probe. Oh, the sentry is keeping the stalker from chasing it down. Get it. Get it, sentry. Get it, stalker. Work together. You can do this thing now if you want to. Anyway, stalker holding the front here. Both players looking to expand at literally the same time. Look at how it's literally the same time right now. Extra sentries here from Zest. So again, feeling defensive. I gotta say, this feels like a Stargate up here from Zest. I don't know what else he'd be hiding at that particular location. Just trying to avoid getting scouted here, I think. Also, sentry's good for hallucination. If you want to do a lot of hallucinated Phoenix against Neeb and see what he's doing. I would not say no to that at all. But yeah, both players just expanding, feeling pretty safe to do so, and they should. Is that a hallucinated Phoenix? Yeah, these builds are so darn identical. It's like, all right, so there's an expansion, not a one-base attack here. One-base play out of Zest, that would be insane. Both players are over-probing so that they can go ahead and do a Maynard transfer down to the natural base when that thing finishes up. I mean, this is just PvP textbook at this stage. Sure, a couple extra sentries here from Zest, and sure, a couple stalkers here from Neeb, but whatever. Shield battery. Actually, Neeb going for the shield battery, whereas Zest does not have one. He just needs to be able to force field this ramp is what he's counting on. And come on, let's go. Oh, he's using this pylon to slow warp into depths. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe he's hoping that Neeb moves out, and then he can sneak the adepts on in. Checking for a third base, try to shut that down. Nope. Neeb is not feeling that greedy today. I just don't think these adepts are going to do anything at all. There are stalkers here. There are sentries here. And, oh, there's the wall off, and the adepts are dead. I don't think they can escape. The stalkers are going to chase them down. At least one of them's going to die. Stalkers are so fast. Bam! One adept down. The other one trying to shade back, trying to get the stalkers off her back, and not going to finish that. There's no way. Yeah, doesn't do it. This is not good for Zest. Zest tried to get something done with these adepts, but Neeb was just sitting at home. He was just like, you know what? No. I mean, the only way that works for Zest is if Neeb's out of town, if he's out of the house, but he wasn't. I'm not sure why Zest went in there at all, to be honest. Oh, yep. Okay, well, 2 adepts down for nothing. Additional, are you seriously doing more adepts? Zest, I do not feel good about this. I feel really bad about this working out for you. So the sentries and the stalker are going to take these things out. Good force field actually there. And getting inside the main base where there are 2 stalkers. So some probes are going to go down, and by that I mean total of 3. It's just not enough. It's just not enough for like 4 adepts that have died. 3 probes for 4 adepts is a horrible trade for Zest. Stalker taking down this pylon. The nose is there because where else are these adepts coming from? Immortal production has begun from Zest here. Resources lost 500 to 200 in favor of the American. And army supply a little bit bigger for Neeb too. Worker supply is actually higher for Zest, but again, losing 3 probes will do that. But they're oversaturated. Oversaturated your natural right now, Zest. So unless you have a 3rd base, that advantage is not going to help you all that much. A lot of gates on the way from Zest, though. This feels like a very much big, huge gateway push here with some immortal support, obviously. Whereas Neeb is trying to set up for a 3rd base, if I had to guess. He doesn't have the sheer number of gateways that are coming up from Zest right now. In fact, he's just now starting his robotics facility for the first time. He's getting a charge first out of his Twilight Council. Yeah, he really wants to go for a 3rd base, and Zest is gearing up for a big old 2-baser. What he's trying to do... Oh, never mind. 3rd base on the way from Zest now, so... Actually gets it out before Neeb did, and then Neeb decides to take his gateways a little bit later. So maybe some aggression here from Zest. Army supply is a little bit bigger for Neeb right now. So I think Zest, despite losing those 4 adepts, is doing just fine. 3rd base is faster than Neeb's is. Got a ton of those warp gates. He's getting charged too, no question about it. Neeb's is going to finish first, but otherwise, pretty much the same deal. Both players are getting warp prisms, as mobility and harassment are so important. This continued hallucinated Phoenix scouting is really fantastic. Out of both players. Sees all the warp gates coming up. Nice scout there. Does Neeb know about these? Of course he does. Knows about all the warp gates. Both players, I mean, effectively putting the warp gates in the same positions in their mains. I mean, that's how cookie cutter PvP is right now. But Archons coming in from Zest, and Archons coming in from Neeb at the same time. They are following the same darn blueprint. They are doing it their own way a little bit here, but they're both aiming for pretty much the same thing, which is a couple Archons, Stalkers, couple Sentries, couple Zealots here from Neeb. There are going to be Zealots obviously coming out here from Zest too. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but by golly, it is close. It is certainly close to the same. So regular will push from Zest, where there's Archon harass on the other side of the map for Neeb. So the question is, does Zest go home to try to deal with this? I don't think he will. Yeah, a lot of probes going to go down here to that attack, and that just means that Zest needs to get in here and take down this 3rd base immediately. 2 immortals. Oh man, is this 3rd just going to die? The Archons are here. And is he warping in? Whoa! This is getting crazy. A warping of Zealots inside the main base of Zest. Wow, Neeb ends up losing his 3rd, but a ton of probes have gone down. Can Neeb hold off this particular attack? There's nothing here to do that. The probes are at the front for some reason. Why are you here? Well, Neeb just lost a ton of workers for no reason. Yeah, we are base racing here at the 8-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen. Zealots depowering all of the warp gates here. Meanwhile, Neeb still has some income. Zest does as well at this 3rd base mostly. So yeah, 40 probes down for Neeb. Worker count for Zest is a little bit too high right now. Neeb, I don't know if he's trying to save his stuff, but he needs to start killing these probes. He's allowing way too much income. Although, Zest heading on down to the bottom right here. This is a great game. This is such a good PvP. I'm so glad I chose to cast this one. I didn't know it was going to happen. I just saw it was more of a macro PvP, and I said, let's do this thing, Falcon, and it has turned out to be so fun. Anytime there's a base race, I am just beside myself with joy. Weapons level 2 denied. Neeb ends up losing that. I mean, I'm not sure who has any upgrades at all right now. I guess production tab was not up, but it doesn't matter because there's nothing happening right now for anybody anyway. This is turning into a legitimate straight-up base race. Army supply 73 to 62 in favor of Zest. Nobody has income anymore. Are they just going to trade bases? Neeb rebuilt his base here at Zest's 3rd. And then Zest just took Neeb's main. Which I don't know about. There's not a lot of minerals left here, man. You can't long distance mine either. There's nowhere to go back to. I guess there is technically, but you don't want to go back there. Back there is the danger zone. Wow. All right, man. So we We're at 92 to 71 supply. Available supply is 31 to 32. We just moved back about 5 minutes. And available supply, everybody is horribly supply blocked, which I think honestly helps Zest. He's got the bigger army by about 11 total supply. Does both players have charge? Both players have charge. It's 15 charge lots to 10 in favor of Zest. 5 Archons to 4 in favor of Zest. Stalker count is bigger for Neeb. 7 to 1 here. So he's got the mobility here. Don't go up. What are you doing? Why would you go up there? Just get out. He's trying to, like, take down a zealot or something before he does, but then the immortals show up and that's time to leave. Time to go. So, yeah, the fact that Zest is hanging back, I don't know. I don't think I feel very good about that. Worker supply is 19 to 9 in favor of Zest, and that's a huge advantage. Neeb, I don't know what he was doing with those probes. He thought about running them, and then he just stopped them right here. They got stuck between the rocks and the army and got wiped out. That was a ton of workers that he could really, really use right now. So, he is going to go ahead and kill a bunch of these buildings. The Stalkers are just being aggressive, right? Because they are trying to keep Zest at home and also provide scouting in case, you know, Zest decides to move out and try to kill stuff. Alright. Hey! Archon drop does get into the main base of Zest. I'm going to try to take down that cannon, actually. Oh, going after some of the probes! Not quite able to do it. Pick up and get out. That is something that Blizzard is planning on nerfing, is that pickup range on that Warp Prism. If they haven't done it already, they talked about doing it just yesterday at the time I'm casting this, which is about a week in advance. So pickup range, like, from 5 to 4, I believe it is. Making this type of thing a little bit harder for Protoss. Doesn't completely wreck it, but, you know. So 16 to 11 workers now in favor of Zest. The discrepancy is not quite as much of a problem, but Zest is also expanding to the natural base of Neeb. So it's still going to be a 2-base to a 1-base Protoss, which is just not ideal, as it would seem. Hallucinated Phoenix chasing this Warp Prism around. The Archons are... Oh, hang on. Taking some shots, taking out another couple probes. That's what he needs to do. He's making it happen. It's 14 to 13 workers. Dang. How come I don't get shields on that thing? It's weird. Anyway, he knows the Archons can't reach him out here, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's kind of annoying and a little bit, like, intrinsically concerning that you're getting shot at by a Phoenix, but they're not real Phoenix, so I'm sure Neeb's okay with it. 3 Archons defending against the 2 Archon drop. Additional Archons up here. Yeah. I think Zest has this game. I just don't see how Neeb comes back from it. He's chrono boosting probes really nicely. It's 15 to 15 workers now, so I mean, Neeb has caught up, but there's 2 Nexus production versus single Nexus production for Neeb, and that is horrendously bad. Once again, Archon's trying to get some stuff done. It's just not... Yeah, okay, a probe, and maybe another probe. Nope, can't quite do it. Charge lots on Archons. Bad. Bad for Archons. Bad for charge lots too, but also bad for Archons. They'll take a ton of damage in that situation. So, I mean, yeah, at this point, Neeb, you need to expand. Honestly, dude, I don't know how you win this thing. You're down about 20 army supply. Again, the Stalkers are really good that he has the higher Stalker count because he's able to move around and be more mobile and keep the pressure down here on Zest, but he needs to expand behind it. I mean, what are our production facilities like? 1 warp gate for Zest. And first warp gate on the way from Neeb here, too. So it's going to be 1 warp gate production. Robotics facility on the way from Neeb. How many Immortals does he need to compete here? It's going to be a lot, man. It's going to be a lot, is what it is. Did he lose an Archon? Looks like he lost an Archon. Once again, Stalkers can kite pretty effectively here. Especially because they have Blink. Especially because they have Blink. Another hallucinated Phoenix. Just you're not going to hide anything from Zest at this point. They're still on 1 base. There is no sign of a third. It looks like maybe Neeb's going to try to take a third down here. We've got a probe ready to rock, but is it too little too late is the question. I mean, is it enough too late? But you know what I mean. If he had a natural base, he'd be in a much better spot here. So Zest is creeping up in worker count advantage here. The sentries just keep tossing out hallucinated Phoenix to keep tabs on this Warp Prism. Again, the benefit for Neeb is that this base is not going to mine out as quickly as his old main is. So that is a minor benefit. Natural base here, too, not going to mine out as quickly as the 3rd. Zest is also taking, or rather, Neeb's taking Zest's natural base as his natural now. which, man, for as exciting as that was for a minute, both players have kind of gotten really conservative. Whereas Zest, I don't know, he has the better army supply. I don't know what the answer is for charge lots. I guess it's just the Archons, right? The Archons with charge lots buffering for them against the charge lots. And both players are going to try to make that happen for sure when the engagement comes, if it ever comes, considering how passive these guys have been. Ooh, I do like Disruptor, though. I was thinking we could use some splash damage. One of these players could. Dude, if Neeb comes back from this, his natural base is finished. Zest hanging out. Like, a Disruptor shot here would be just incredible for Neeb. You can make it happen. He's being covered by the Stalkers. He's going to try to land it here. He doesn't want to lose the Disruptor is the thing. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, what a split. That was a disgusting split from Zest. I'm not going to lose to a Disruptor hit. What are you on about here? Oh, it's an actual Phoenix. Holy crap. Actual Phoenix alert. Ooh, taking some shots. Nice control there by Neeb. But yeah, Zest is like, you can't kill me with a Disruptor. What are you on about? Neeb is making Colossus with extended thermal lance. Colossus is going to do pretty well against this too, honestly. Man, the Adepts and the Zealots are going to take tons of damage from those things. This is getting interesting. Neeb, can he make this thing happen? He's down in worker supply. He is down in army supply. He's only been on 2 bases for some time, and Zest has been on 2 bases for a while. And if you just came into this cast, which I don't know how you would. You ever click on a cast and just skip to the 16-minute mark? You would assume that Zest is spawned in the bottom right, and Neeb is spawned in the top left, and something terrible had happened to his main. But no, they'd spawn in opposite locations. All right, so Zest has decided 125 supply is the sweet spot to move out here. Hallucinated Phoenix does see it coming. Extended Thermal Lance is not done yet, and the Colossus count is 2. He's trying to get 4 here. 4 would be nice. Also, going up a ramp seems like suicide if you're Zest. This ramp is wide, but it doesn't matter. This ramp is narrow. Yeah, defensive position here is pretty good for the Neeblet. Neeb's going to lose a couple pylons up this way just by pure random happenstance that Zest wandered over this way. And, yeah, it's going to supply block Neeb, which is really bad for him. He's not replacing the supply yet. He really totally should. Oh, the Phoenix count is actually pretty darn high for Zest all of a sudden, but losing one there, and Zest decides to pull him back home and take a 3rd base of his own. Very prodigious. That is something that Zest has been doing in the games of his that I've cast recently, is he's extremely cautious, not taking chances. He's conservative with the decisions that he makes, and it helps him win, but it also turns into longer games because he is not aggressive nearly at all. A couple probes go down here from Neeb. Zest, Phoenix paying for themselves a little bit. Zest is up 42 to 31 workers and a 3rd base coming in, whereas Neeb doesn't feel safe to take a 3rd base by any stretch. He needs those ramps to defend. He's going to have to take it here, but that is a wide open area for Neeb's army to just get wiped out from Zest Concave if he's defending it. 101 to 90 army supply. Zest is keeping up. He's been consistently about 10 supply down for like the last 10 minutes. So he's not losing any additional ground, which is nice. But man, the Colossus have been scouted to high heaven. What's the answer going to be? Phoenix? Phoenix aren't the answer to Colossus. I'm trying to see, and I don't see what Zest is going to do about these Colossus, unless it's just like get a surround on them, just zerg it up, right? Get Zealots behind the Colossus. Don't let them line up in front. That's super bad. Templar Archives on the way from Neeb. Perhaps he wants to make additional Archons to mix in, as it is a 10 Archon setup for Zest right now. That's a lot of Archons. And that's going to be a big deal. Archons are just going to melt through the Zealots. They're not going to take a lot of damage from the Colossus. Even the Disruptor is not going to hurt them all that much. And honestly, yeah, Mass Archon is pretty good in PvP if you can get to that point. Obviously, you want Archons with, Disruptors or something else. You just don't want Archons because they're a little bit slow. But if they're aggressive, it's good. Tempest in production from Zest too. Tempest are going to be a good answer to these Colossus. They really are. Phoenix harassing, getting some more probes back here at the mineral line. 5 of them for Neeb go down. I think Neeb just has this thing lost. I mean, Neeb has taken Zest's main base, but he's so far behind. 8 total probes have gone down. Neeb is down 10 total workers right now, which is so bad. Yeah, Tempest in production. Tempest versus Colossus. I'm not sure if I've actually ever seen that interaction before. Yeah, the Tempest should just be able to snipe the Colossus from long distance. And Zest, look again, so conservative. He's been ahead. He has been ahead in pretty much every meaningful way for the last 10 minutes or so, but he's just not been willing to go up these ramps at all. Yeah, Neeb thought about expanding here, decided to take the main instead. It's safer to do so. Boy, are Zest games sometimes a little bit passive. I'm just noticing a theme here with this guy. He's spread out. He doesn't want to get caught in Colossus fire, but he's been doing such a good job scouting that Neeb hasn't moved out yet, and Zest should know. All right, Zest going for it, man. He's going for it. He stopped going for it. All right, that is so many Archons. So many Archons. Upgrades, +2 attack for Zest. +1 attack for Neeb on the ground. Shield level 1 for Zest. No shields for Neeb. So upgrade advantage is definitely favoring... Oh, here we go. The Protoss player down below, we can see that. Even the air weapons are done here, too. All right, so the Tempest. Look at that. One volley takes down a Colossus. And you can kind of kite the Archons, too. What a crazy engagement this is. All right, man, the Colossus are waging war. Phoenix are trying to pick off the Colossus from distance. The Tempest are trying to do the same thing. Stalker's trying to pick the Tempest out of the sky, but the Archons are dealing with these Stalkers exceptionally well. The Tempest continuing to fire up. Zest decides he's pulling back a little bit, but he's up 102 to 54 army supply, and that's it. Neeb taps out, and Zest is your winner. Colossus doing okay, but only 1 or 2 kills each. The Tempest from distance, sniping things down, not getting those kills either, but... yeah, Archons doing some more work at the front. 7 kills, 3 kills there. Our Mortals at the back. 10 or 9 kills on those dudes. Yeah, it was an interesting effort there from Neeb, but in the end, no, not enough. Not enough indeed. Resources lost, 12,000 for Zest, 17,000 for Neeb. Neeb ended up losing 8 of his Archons. Zest only ever lost 2 Archons this entire game. Ended with 2, or 10 rather. That's fantastic. In the end, 4 Colossus went down, which means there were 2 remaining, so good focus firing there from Zest to make that happen. And yeah, both players lost a ton of buildings because they base raced and wiped out each other's presence on the other side of the map. Hooray! Hooray, huzzah! Alright, well, I don't know what else to say about this game, honestly, other than pretty interesting PvP. All right, well, that's going to be it for me then. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and Zest versus Neeb. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.